I received a gift from a fellow slinger on Instagram, and because of this gift, I'm now even more excited and passionate about slinging. In this video, I want to be just an enthusiast for the slinging community and not so much the expert, but I mainly want to show you this new beauty that I received. Stick around. I was about 12 years old when I heard the word slinger for the first time. Jean-Claude Van Damme had just come out with a movie called Cyborg, in which I'm still a big fan of today. And in that movie, you basically had three classes of people. You had like your average everyday person that was just trying to survive. They were often victims. Then you had a group of people called the pirates who were stealing, robbing, killing, and looting. And then you had a class of people that was kind of acting as a protector, and they were known as the slingers. The slingers were well equipped in a great number of skills and weapons, from martial arts to knife throwing to archery to everything else. So early on, I come to think of a slinger as someone who was well versed in a lot of different kinds of weapons, preferably things that you would use during an apocalypse or a period of time where the use of ammo or guns was not quite as available. So being a fan of action movies, and especially Jean-Claude at that age, I always loved the idea of having the skill set that the slingers had, to be able to fight, to be able to use a various number of weapons. But it was later on that I actually discovered the shepherd sling. You know, I started off doing, archery and slingshots and knives and axes and all these different kinds of things that you can use apart from guns. And I thought, man, why not learn how to use a shepherd sling? Especially being, well familiar with the story of David and Goliath. I was like, man, I want to get out and give this a try. I said all that for fun and to say this. When most people hear the term slinger, they think of someone who uses a sling, and they're probably right in that. But for me, when I think about a slinger, I think about people who are well versed in a lot of areas and the kind of people who would be very helpful if it hit the fan, such as people who can shoot, people who have fighting skills, people who are good with archery, knife throwing, tomahawk throwing, slingshots. The list just goes on and on. I consider all of that in the realm of being a good slinger, especially using a shepherd sling. Now, up until this point, I have been using paracord shepherd slings with a leather pouch. But my buddy Ryan sent me a beautiful braided sling, and I gotta tell you, I like it so much better than anything I have used thus far. Let's take a look at it. All right, here she is. I just think that's gorgeous. Just a gorgeous sling. See if I can let you get a good look at it. I was using it earlier. I just put my first two fingers, index and middle finger, in there, and then hold the knot like this right here. Okay, and most projectiles fit well into this. I was putting all kinds of different rocks, different size rocks in here. This thing was pretty much able to sling everything effectively. Because it's so sturdy and well built, whether the object was light or whether the object was heavy, I just felt like I had a better handle on it. And I really love the little whip at the end of this. You know that you have released this correctly when you hear that crack. After that, it's just a matter of kind of dialing in your aim. My favorite method of slinging is the helicopter method, where I go above my head here, dial in, and let her rip. There are other methods of slinging, of which I will not cover in this video. I've done that in other videos. The helicopter method thus far is the only way that I've been able to make it work for me. As I mentioned in the past, one of the greatest obstacles to shepherd slinging is having a place to practice. I have a pipeline that runs behind the woods of my home, and that's where I can get out and shepherd sling because I'm far enough away from people to get it done. I know some people, such as the gentleman who made this sling, has a place set up, looks like in his backyard, where he's able to sling at some very good targets and collect his ammo. I'm not sure, maybe he's using a racquetball. Ryan, you can correct me if I'm wrong on that. But it looks like he's got the type of ammo that he can collect. And if you got that kind of setup, I think that's one of the greatest ways to get good, is just to have a way where you constantly have ammo and you can throw as much as you want to. You can throw safely and consistently. For me, I have to use stones the way my place is set up back here. What I'm gonna do is get back out here and sling at some water jugs, because I have been working on hitting smaller targets. I'm operating at about 25 to 30 feet from my target. Let's get cracking. found this little bouncy ball. Let's see if I can throw it at this target right here. I typically don't sling in the woods because I don't want a rock coming back at me, but I don't care if this does. That was pretty close, but I'm not working with horseshoes or hand grenades, so let's try again. There we go. I love the crack of the whip when you get that good release. So the object of this video was to show off and celebrate my new braided sling. I feel like this is already making me a better slinger. I feel like I've got more control over the object. I just like it a lot better. I like the way this is designed, and I don't know if I'll go back to the others. This is next level for me. Ryan, once again, thank you for the sling. This thing is amazing. And thank you all for watching. I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Take care.